Today, June 18, is observed annually as World Sustainable Gastronomy Day. It's a day focused on promoting and raising awareness about the role of gastronomy in achieving sustainable development goals. Gastronomy is simply the art of choosing, cooking, and eating good food. You're watching Jamaica Magazine, and I'm Adrian Atkinson. We have more after this.
In 2023, many of you told us how pleasantly surprised you were with our first Transformations Expo. Be prepared to be amazed at Transformations Expo 2.0, People, Quality and Technology, coming from 2 locations at the National Arena in Kingston and simultaneously at the Montego Bay Community College from Thursday, June 19 to Sunday, June 22. Bring your friends, bring your family. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 18, 2025. Approximately 20,000 young people are being engaged in summer employment programs across multiple government ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs. This includes 10,000 through the Youth Summer Employment Program, YSEP, and another 10,000 across all government ministries and the Heart NSTA Trust. At the launch of YSEP on Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness encouraged young people seeking summer employment to appreciate the value of the experience, which is a transitioning bridge from school to the world of work.
That experience, it is going to make you a better person, a more knowledgeable person, a more rounded person, a more prepared person, and it is going to give you the edge in the world of work over others who would not have the similar experience. So the summer work program, it's about building character. It's about building a better you.
The Prime Minister is urging the young people to maximize the opportunity and translate the experience into employable or entrepreneurial skills.
In today's world, most young people are now recognizing that they can work independently. In other words, they can do their own business. They can create their own value. They can be self-employed. And what we want is an economy of workers.
YSEP is an initiative of the Ministry of Local Government, and the Portfolio Minister, Desmond McKenzie, reveals that since its inception in 2017, approximately 50,000 participants between the ages of 16 and 29 years have been engaged in the program.
Your responsibility, as you have been doing over the years, have assisted the local authorities in collecting the necessary data, street lights, derelict buildings, illegal garages, identifying vulnerable communities, identifying senior citizens who would need assistance during the time of disaster.
This year's cohort will receive an allowance of $17,000 weekly for 4 weeks. The delivery of diagnostic services in the public health sector is set to benefit significantly from the acquisition of additional equipment this year. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, gave the update in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday. He said 16 pieces of equipment are in the process of procurement. These include 10 CT scanners and 6 MRI machines. The minister also gave details on the state of diagnostic equipment in the health sector, revealing that these included 5 CT scan machines, 2 each at the Kingston Public Hospital and the University Hospital of the West Indies, and 1 at the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
The number at UHWI will double shortly. We are well on the way for the installation of 2 additional CT scan machines. The public can expect a 4-fold increase in the number of MRI machines in the system, in addition to the one currently at the University Hospital of the West Indies. 3 more are to be procured, and 1 will be added once the Western Child and Adolescent Hospital begins operations sometime later on this year.
Mammogram services are being offered from 3 locations, namely Cornwall Regional and the Kingston Public Hospitals, as well as the University Hospital of the West Indies. There are 16 digital X-ray machines available for use across the island, and Minister Tufton says another 2 will be brought on board shortly at the Cornwall Regional and National Chest Hospitals. The system is also equipped with 11 portable X-ray machines. Minister Tufton says the government is close to implementing its new policy for the leasing of certain diagnostic equipment to increase capacity. Still on health, the ministry is moving ahead with plans to establish a pilot electronic immunization registry. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says 6 public and 2 private locations have been identified for the rollout of the pilot phase. The initiative is part of the process to innovate and modernize Jamaica's immunization program. It will create a shift from traditional paper-based records to a secure, centralized digital platform that will revolutionize how immunization services are tracked, planned, and delivered across Jamaica's health institutions. According to Dr. Tufton, the electronic immunization registry will allow for real-time intelligence, integrated service delivery, patient empowerment, and targeted interventions. The registry will also facilitate community-specific outreach to boost coverage and equity and improve outcomes for vaccine-preventable diseases. The health minister asserts that Jamaica continues to have high immunization rates, achieving and surpassing the 95% target for all 8 antigens. In other news, the Agri-Linkages Exchange, known throughout the industry as ALEX, has generated approximately $550 million in earnings for farmers between January 2024 and April 2025. $100 million of that figure is for the first 4 months of this year. Giving the update in his sectoral debate presentation on Tuesday, Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett said the numbers represented a fraction of the overall agriculture produce sales. He pointed out that earnings in the billions were made via other arrangements involving small, medium, and large farmers and other entities.
Because when we have done this study, it indicates that the value for just fresh fruits and vegetables is more than 363 billion Jamaican dollars. And so what the small farmers are doing is mere drop in the bucket, so to speak. And we now require the larger players to become involved.
To boost agricultural output, Minister Bartlett highlights a directive from the Prime Minister encouraging long-term contracts between farmers and hotels. This initiative aims to create investment opportunities in agriculture and increase yields. Currently, over 2,000 small farmers are registered on the ALEX platform, accessing direct link to hotels. Sales to date is over 1.2 billion Jamaican dollars. Preparations are well advanced for the staging of the 49th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference set for July 6 to 8 in Montego Bay, with security, economic integration, and regional development topping the agenda. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith shared the update yesterday at a JIS think tank. A key focus will be strengthening the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME while tackling growing concerns of transnational organized crime and regional security.
Security will be a big issue for us. We have been calling for, and Prime Minister has placed on the table from his last speech at the UN, and he has done it at National Security Council and in other fora, and I have supported his call when I have spoken as well, for increased global collaboration on the matter of transnational organized crime. He has called for it to be given the resources and the level of coordination that was given by the world to the war on drugs.
In addition to security, leaders will discuss improving regional trade, reducing non-tariff barriers, and advancing rights tied to the free movement of people, including access to primary education, healthcare, and the movement of tools of trade.
We're looking at how to make more efficient, how to make it move more easily for people. And we'll be looking at all of the subsidiary rights and matters that come with movement of your tools of trade, movement of, your right to free primary and secondary education and primary and emergency health care. These are elements that have been agreed by heads that should come with full free movement.
Health promotion and sustainable development are also on the table, including discussions on the regional rollout of initiatives such as Jamaica Moves. These are in addition to strengthening cooperation through the Council for Finance and Planning, COFAP. The conference will be held under the theme, People, Partnerships, Prosperity, promoting a secure and sustainable future. And finally, starting this year, 26 tertiary scholarships will be given to top-performing secondary level students pursuing careers in agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has given the commitment for students across all parishes who are enrolled in agricultural science. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green made the announcement during the closing ceremony of the Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program REAP Builder recently.
We're going to give them full tertiary scholarships so that ultimately they don't have to wonder how they're going to pursue tertiary education in agriculture.
In addition to the parish-level awards, 4 more scholarships will be granted to students pursuing agricultural education as part of efforts to boost the number of agriculture teachers across the island. The initiative forms part of the ministry's broader push to attract more young people to the sector and to strengthen agricultural education and training. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
I wonder who that somebody be. No, sir. Let me look for my glasses. Oh, that somebody look like right, sir.
Slutty, walk on.
Me glad for see you, right. Although things never go on for you, America, me glad to see you there.
Yeah.
Lift your head high.
Yeah.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
And you can have a fresh start back home.
All right, Mr. D. Thanks, you hear?
Let's all work together for a fresh start back home.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
In the event of a disaster, it is vital for all response units to be able to communicate well, to effectively carry out their duties. Thankfully, the Disaster Emergency Communication System has been implemented to better alert, evacuate, and communicate with the necessary parties during a disaster. Here's a closer look.
Jamaica is no stranger to the powerful forces of nature. From hurricanes and floods to landslides, these natural disasters remind us of the importance of readiness.
So we have mainstreamed in our governance disaster preparedness and readiness as a means of building resilience against the climate change issues that affect small island developing states like Jamaica.
In terms of the National Disaster Risk Management Framework, it's actually one of the best, if not the best in the Americas.
We are in the best place we have ever been in our history in terms of our state of readiness.
When disaster strikes, all eyes turn to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. In a crisis, effective and reliable communication is of utmost importance. That's why the government, through ODPEM, has forged a partnership with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to strengthen the island's emergency communication system. The ODPEM-JICA collaboration aims to improve the emergency communication infrastructure in Jamaica by installing wireless communication systems and relevant equipment, thereby contributing to swift and robust communication between first responders and government offices to respond efficiently to emergencies or disaster.
DECOMS management is Spanish Town Fire Station. This is the radio check. How do you read? Over.
We are putting in place the necessary infrastructure for us to respond to these disasters. we would have already put in place all the necessary radios in their various locations. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, the police, every arm of government is equipped to communicate before and after. And this is a game changer for the people of Jamaica.
You don't want a system where you are relying on cell phones for communication. We saw what happened in Beryl, where a lot of the cell towers went, and there was communication blackout in some areas across the country. What you want to ensure is that there are redundancy to your communication, and our radio network gives us that kind of redundancy. In terms of the design, it is robust enough that allows us that if one of the nodes go down, we're still able to communicate across the country, and it gives us roughly probably 98% coverage across the island.
Changing from an analog to a digital system is not an easy feat. However, with the development of the Project Implementing Unit, the ODPEM is sure the DECOMS and Early Warning System EWANS will be effective in strengthening Jamaica's responsiveness. Coupled with the island's Early Warning System EWANS, the DECOMS are expected to effectively bolster Jamaica's responsiveness to natural disasters.
The objective of the project for the improvement of emergency communication system in Jamaica is to enhance Jamaica's public safety and our national emergency communication system. This national emergency communication system is critical for the coordination of emergency and incident response among our various government entities or key government responders. It will allow for emergency agencies to communicate via one common platform. We would have installed radio equipment to include mobile radios, base station radios, and handheld radios at a number of government entities to include the Jamaica Fire Brigade, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the local authorities, and a number of other entities island-wide. We would have installed early warning systems under the project across 2 parishes in 3 communities, namely Old Harbour Bay in St. Catherine and along the Bog Walk to Angels Corridor in St. Catherine, and also in Port Maria, St. Mary. This, with the installation of this early warning system, it will create that alertness that it is a multi-hazard system. So it will be able to alert residents, commuters, persons who utilize these areas, these urban centers, for example, Port Maria, about the pending hazards or threats that these communities will face.
This site is owned by Aerotel. They manage the telecommunication systems for Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority. Part of the benefit of co-locating at this site is that this site is designed for aeronautical purposes. So they have a very high standard, especially where power is concerned, and also for protection against lightning. And also provides quite a bit of redundancy just by virtue of its location. However, our system is designed to run entirely on a battery system, and pretty much we have our systems charged by their power. Should a case happen where we lose power, whether from GPS or their power system, our battery system will allow us to have service for up to 5 days. This site here in Coopers Hill provides coverage for the entire corporate area. So all of the radios in this area will be connected to this repeater site here at Coopers Hill, and that's another advantage that we have at this location.
The DECOMS system will also help several stakeholders within the National Disaster Risk Management structure to mobilize and mitigate crises.
During the implementation phase of the project of the DECOMS system, firefighters were basically embedded with a team of engineers that came down from Japan to install the equipment across the island. DECOMS system that is now at ODPEM is manned by firefighters. So that's the rock and the knock, as is referred to. It's currently manned by firefighters, and these firefighters remain at ODPEM, manning the system for as long as it's necessary. What we have done with this system is to make it a part of our daily communications. Once we're out in the field conducting, whether it's rescue or conducting firefighting operations, then the team members can communicate back to Central in terms of giving updates, live updates as to what is happening. If there is need for additional resources, that can be communicated in a reliable way, unlike what we have now.
We're able to introduce it as part of the communication platform during burial, and we were able to see some results. So it's a good thing.
The DECOMS system is here to build resilience, plan for natural disasters, activate response efforts, and mitigate the impacts of disasters while maintaining an active and reliable communication channel.
I'm Karina Powellhood. We've been planning for months, and now we're ready to share more of the essence of who we are. At the JCF Transformations People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0, coming June 19 to 22nd at the National Arena in Kingston and at the Montego Bay Community College. Come, see, experience what you've been hearing about your transforming police force.
As we observe World Sustainable Gastronomy Day, let's now visit Cara Pessoa as she cooks a delicious meal, fresh from farm to table.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries recently outlined the Grow Smart, Eat Smart campaign, an initiative designed to strengthen food security and safeguard Jamaica from global threats. One aspect of the campaign is the drive for Jamaicans to grow what they eat. One of our local chefs will prepare a dish from produce from her garden.
So we're gonna start with passion fruit because it's passion fruit season. This is how our pulp is. And I'm just going to add it to our blender with my ginger that I already pre-washed and cut. Add that first. I tend to use a finer strainer. And the more passion you put in there, the more color you'll get. And the benefit again of eating and drinking what you grow is your health. And at this point now I'm going to add my sugar. I mix till you dissolve your sugar. So here you have it, homemade passion fruit juice.
Growing smart does not require a big farm. A small patch of land in your backyard, couple pots, and you can be on your way to harvesting produce for the dining table. Whatever and however much you manage to grow, put it to good use, cooking up healthy traditional or new dishes for the family to eat. It's what Cara has been doing.
My thing is make your hand, turn your hand, make passion. So how it came about is my ackee mashup, boil it out. So I needed to use it. And I came up with Alfredo. And it is vegan It's healthy. Every ingredient that I have in here, it's local. So I'm gonna start off with, or you can use any onion. I just think the red onion looks nice. So I'm going to just julienne this because I want it to stand out. Cut out the stem so then you get them loose. And then here I already pre-cut some tricolor bell peppers, or what we call sweet pepper, red, yellow and green. We have some string bean and some julienne carrots. Right here we have some local cherry tomatoes that, you know, grows wild in some garden. Garlic, which, you know, is a must in our seasoning. And from here I have some dry seasoning. So I have Italian herb, I have some dried basil and my salt and pepper mix. And I'm also going to cut up a little scotch bonnet because, you know, Jamaica we say. This recipe takes about 30 minutes as long as you have everything prepped. The longest part is probably sauteing the vegetables. From here we move to our stove. So on medium heat, well, I have my pasta about to go into the boiling water. You can use any pasta you want. I'm just using what I have in the house today, which is some tagliatelle. From here, I'm going to turn on my skillet. You can use coconut oil if you feel, or olive oil, or whatever oil you have at home. And our oil is now hot. Cook your onions first, because you don't want raw onions. The next would be your carrots and your green beans, because they're raw. I didn't blanch them. So as you can see, the pasta is boiling. And then I'm going to add my garlic. Now this is an Alfredo, so I put a lot of garlic. At this point I'm going to actually add my aromatics, which is I have some fresh thyme here. And you're developing your flavors, you're building. I'm going to also add my dry herbs, which is my Italian and basil. At this point, if you have extra ackee, I'll put a little bit in there. And you can use any vegetable you want. And then I'm also going to add my peppers at this point. And then I'm going to check my pasta, which is about al dente right now. And at this point, you can add your coconut milk from your coconut tree if you have any coconuts that are dry. I also have my scotchy. You can put as much or as less as you want. And from here, you can serve it in a bowl, you know. A deeper dish is probably better for pasta. Give it some height by twisting it. Sauce it up as much as you want. So I'm going to garnish it with my basil, my fresh basil. This is called chiffonade, where you ribbon it. You can also garnish with parsley, which I have growing at home as well. And clean up your plate, don't be like me. And there you have it, ackee pasta Alfredo.
And there are other dishes like this one that you can use ackee to create, such as curry ackee pasta, the traditional sawfish with ackee, and here is something you may not hear of often, ackee pockets with cocoa bread.
As a people, food can equate. But we must know when certain things too much. My advice to you is this. Swap out the little fried fry for some healthier options like baked chicken and baked potatoes. Avoid sugary drinks, my friend. Instead, grab a nice fresh coconut water to keep you hydrated and energized. We can also eat more fruits and vegetables. I know you love the ackee, but add some pineapple, banana or string bean to balance it out, no? Fruits fresh and ready for your energy. Make a better effort to improve your nutrition. Every little change help for the better.
We're at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. As you go through today, keep in mind that healthy food improves your mood and mind. Visit our website in the meantime at gis.gov.jm or connect with us on social media. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.